Hello everyone and welcome back to today's video. My name is Tyler with MyComputerWorks, and today we're going to be talking about something kind of serious. We're going to be talking about how to do, not how to do, but basically how to keep yourself protected while you do taxes on your computer, right? So I noticed that's a common trend amongst the clients here at MyComputerWorks. A lot of people do their taxes online. A lot of people nowadays do their taxes online. There's a lot of services out there like TurboTax, for example, that make it really easy to just go online and do your taxes, right? You can just file right from your computer. A lot of these tax services offer things like filing early. It's usually pretty cheap compared to actually having somebody do your taxes. And on top of that, it's usually pretty simple. So most people out there can figure out how to do it. So that being said, used to be that you would take your taxes to somebody, and a lot of times you would trust those tax companies to do your taxes for you. Or a lot of things used to be pen and paper, right, back in the day. Not as much was done from our own personal computers. So definitely a few tips and tricks that I want to offer you today to make it so that your computer is much safer while you're doing your taxes online this season. Okay, so let's knock out the obvious ones. These are gonna seem obvious to some, but they're not gonna be as obvious to others, which is why I wanna bring them up, is because not everybody's as tech savvy. And again, when doing taxes from your computer, this is a very important thing. That's a lot of sensitive data we're talking about going through your computer, being uploaded, or you're filling out and filing all those forms, putting a lot of personal data, a lot of sensitive data into those databases, or obviously into your computer as well. So let's talk about what you want to have on your computer and how you should be doing your taxes from your computer. Okay, so if you're gonna do it from your computer, make sure, again, this may seem obvious to some, don't be on a public Wi-Fi network, okay? Don't go and use like a McDonald's Wi-Fi network, public Wi-Fi. A lot of places offer public Wi-Fi. Don't do it. If you're not using a secured home network, your own home network that has security that's offered by your router, your internet service provider, like I said, your network equipment usually has like built-in firewalls. In addition to that, you should have the Windows or Mac security on your computer that's helping protect you, or working, firewalls working off of that, right? Windows has built-in firewalls. So you need to be able to confirm 100% that the network that you're on is a safe and encrypted network that's going to keep your data safe. And if you're using public Wi-Fi, you just can't be sure of that, okay? The reality of the situation is, only by having your own home network that is a private encrypted connection can you ensure that the data that you're uploading or that you're filing online for your taxes is going to be safe, okay? So that's key. Number one, home Wi-Fi, protected, encrypted network, not some public Wi-Fi, okay? Again, you don't really need to do anything extra to your network. If you have a home network, like if you have an internet service provider who gives you your router equipment and you set it up, hook it to your computer, usually it's already got some kind of security setup as default. It might not be the maximum settings, but it's better than what the public Wi-Fi is going to offer. So be on your own home network. That's number one, okay? And then the next one is, make sure that whatever browser you're using to fill your taxes out, because you have to go online to do it, you have to use an internet browser, it's a safe browser. Like we talk about Edge, Safari, Chrome, Firefox, my personal favorite. One of those, okay? You've got 4 there, so pick one of those. Nice verified secure browser, nice verified secure Wi-Fi network or wired network. If you're on Ethernet, even better. That's bare minimum, okay? So building blocks to doing our taxes online, the first thing we want to make sure is we are on a secure network, not a public Wi-Fi network, or wired public network. Even we want our own home wired or wireless network, and we want to use a secured and verified browser like the 4 I mentioned before: Safari, Edge, Chrome, or Firefox. Okay, all right, so now we're talking about browsers. Let's go to the next step. When you go and you sign up for these accounts, or you do like a TurboTax account or whatever service you're going to use to do your taxes online, you got to make an account, right? Okay, don't save that account's password into your browser. That would be another recommendation I would say, okay? Don't trust your passwords to the password manager of your browser or even to a third-party application password manager. The ones for your taxes are going to be the ones that I recommend. You know, your tax accounts. Those are going to be the ones that go in the old book, right? So like I have a book next to my computer desk over there. It's got all my passwords. Those passwords don't go into password managers. They go into that book, and that's it, okay? So now you at least eliminate your password manager from being, you know, if it gets breached, they're not going to get your tax account passwords, which is really important. So again, store those unique passwords, not basic, easy to guess passwords, especially for your tax accounts. You want complex, unique passwords that you store, like I do, into a book rather than into your password manager, and don't lose it, okay? So keep it somewhere where it's safe. Okay, and beyond that, honestly, the last two things are pretty simple. You're gonna wanna make sure you have antivirus on the computer, which you should have antivirus on your computer no matter what. You know, even if it's just the built-in Windows Defender or X, right? So those already come in, which is gonna be a given. But maybe like a secondary antivirus like Malwarebytes would be a good idea during the tax season, especially to have on there, and do regular scans and make sure that nothing snuck its way onto your system, okay? And then just beyond that, being careful, you know, we talked about how to store the passwords. Same with the data, right? If you download the previous year's tax information, or you have a lot of that information or data on your computer, websites like TurboTax actually recommend that you take that, stick it onto a flash drive. That way you can remove the flash drive from your computer and that data doesn't just sit on your device, okay? I think that's really good advice, because if somebody gets onto your system and the files are not there and the flash drive's not plugged in, they can't get those files, right? So you would have to either leave the flash drive in by accident, or somebody would have to steal that physically in person, which is a less likely scenario. So that would be my recommendation, right? So just making sure safe network that you're using, encrypted network, verified and safe browser, okay? Be careful about the extensions you have in that browser as well. You don't want to have anything that's tracking too much of your data or the things that you do on websites, because again, we don't want to be storing a lot of this tax account information, for example, like our passwords on our computer or in other password managers or things like that. We want it off of our computer. We want it somewhere where we can remove it from remote access where people can get it, right? So ideally, that's what we would do. Use secure network, use a verified browser, don't store the information on your computer, and make sure you have good security in place, like Malwarebytes as an antivirus. If you follow those steps, you can feel safe doing your taxes online. However, if you still don't feel safe this season and you want a little extra help and just to make sure your computer looks good, you don't have anything strange going on before you start doing your taxes, reach out to My Computer Works. Our number is at the beginning and the end of the video. We'll be happy to hop on there, take a look, and see what we think. So thank you, everyone, and hit that like and subscribe before you go. I'll see you all on the next one.